All right, so I'm gonna tell you what I said many times over the winter. This instant replay is a bad idea. You cannot have a situation where you have stoppage of play on the base paths when you're trying to figure out was somebody safer out and what happens to the guy who went from first base to home plate on a bunt. You can't do that. You cannot have all the camera angles you need in order to guarantee that you'll have a better angle than the umpires had. You cannot guarantee it like you can in football. The field is rectangular. You've got lines on the field to determine whether a receiver had his feet down or not. And you'll have a camera angle on almost every situation. This is ridiculous. They can't even figure out if a ball landed on the chalk or not down the line. They can't even figure that out. This was a bad idea, and I implore Major League Baseball to stop it. I implore all fans, if you don't think that instant replay has any place in baseball, okay, maybe down the lines it does, if a home run's fair or foul. But if you think that instant replay needs to stop, anytime they pull that stupid headset set out and they start listening to what the MLB people in New York are saying, boo the umpires off the field. This has got to stop. Do you agree?
I agree completely.
Or am I going too far?
No, I like it. I did a rant on Mariano Rivera. You just did a rant on the umpires. But
so the fans need to boo every time an appeal is done. You're not booing the manager for doing it because he's doing something that he's able to do. But what you are doing is booing the process.
It's changing the game. It's not. What's the most exciting play on the field? The bang bang play they call it, the double play.
Right.
You know, or that really close play at home plate.
Right.
They're ruining it.
How many frames per second do you have to slow it down to see if a guy's foot went on the bag when the ball reached first base? How many frames per second? One? One frame every 3 seconds? Oh, we got to roll that back one more time. Oh, no, stop.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I feel the same way in football, but let's not talk about football.
Once in a while, an umpire makes a mistake. Once in a while, a third baseman makes an error. That's part of the game.
And I have a solution. The solution is allow instant replay when it comes to a ball hit down the line, whether it's fair or foul and a home run. Not on the field, but in the stands, okay? And the other thing to do is talk to the umpires and say, be human about things. When there's a play and a manager starts to argue, be willing to talk about it. And if you stick with the play the way it was called and the manager doesn't agree with it, then you follow the rules and throw them out when it's appropriate. But get together if you think there's any chance at all that the play should have been ruled differently. Get together as human beings, talk about it, and make a decision. This instant replay thing's got to go. Fans, boo this process off the field.
The only thing that works is if you treat the umpires like you treat the players, okay? You get rid of a bad umpire, you keep a good umpire. If a shortstop is making errors all the time, you send them down to the minors, okay? Or you release them. That's what you do with an umpire.
But you know what the bad? I'll tell you what the bad.
It's too much of a good old boys club or
You're
something.
right. But the bad news is that these umpires get vacations during the season. So instead of sending them down, they're bringing umpires up periodically to work games from the minor leagues. So really, it's the opposite effect that happens in reality. I mean, these umpires don't work every single game, every single week. They get vacation time during the season.
But there's good umpires and there's lousy ones.
That's true.
Just like there's good players and there's lousy ones. You put the best players on the field and you put the best umpires on the field.
Right, right.
Okay? And in postseason, you take the best umpire, you take the cream of the crop, and you put them on the field just for the same reason the cream of the crop is on the field.
Right.
The players.
Yep.
Okay, the two best teams in baseball were on the field in the World Series last year. The best umpiring crew should have been on there.
Good point.
That's all you got to do.
Right. And if they make a mistake?
And they make a mistake, they make a mistake. It's just like if a guy makes the greatest player in the world can make an error. Right. That's all you do. It's common sense.
They're only human. I hate to say it. They only have two eyes. What are you going to do?
But, it's part of the game.
No, I agree with you. I mean, if they interpret the rule wrong or rule incorrectly, that's different.
Or if an umpire sees something that the other one didn't. Remember the time A-Rod knocked the ball out of Bronson Arroyo's hand in the postseason? And the other umpire saw it and they reversed the call.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Exactly,
He didn't see it. The other guy did.
Right.
Or a home run. The home plate umpire saw something that the third base umpire didn't for some reason.
Right.
That's all you got to do.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be for instant replay for anything except maybe the home run. maybe the fair foul
in the
home run.
stands, not on the not to see if a ball hit the chalk.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that's working either. And John Farrell would agree. I think there's several managers that would agree that that's not working.
But
So
if umpires are making bad calls, you just have to get another umpire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like if a catcher's making, calling a bad game, you get another catcher in there, right?
right, yeah. Or you make that catcher not work with that particular pitcher.
I mean, you treat them like you treat the players.
Sure.
You put the best ones on the field.
But you also have to, like I said, I think you have to make sure that they understand they're expected to get together and talk about things.
Oh yeah, yeah,
At all times.
yeah.
Unless an umpire says, I know for a fact I made that right call because I heard the ball hit the first baseman's mitt before the runner's lead foot hit the bag. If you're sure of it, umpire, stick with it. No need to talk to anyone, and we'll take your word for it.